I'm going to get some hate for this, but I still believe in the Luka Doncic-led Dallas Mavericks this season. In my opinion, you should never count out the 6'7" Slovenian guard that's been on a historic pace to start their career.
Under a minute to go here in the first half. Stunning. 27-point lead. Down goes Johnson. Three. Luka. Bullseye.
Oh no.
They're shredding him. In the league this year, Doncic right there. 27 points from Luka.
With that being said, if you were starting to have doubts about this team or were completely off of the Mavericks wagon altogether, then I would absolutely understand. I actually could not blame you at all. Things are so tight in the Western Conference right now that if you're in the mix, every game counts, every minute counts, and every game should be treated that way. This is something that really should be echoed throughout franchises. What shouldn't be echoed is your coach saying that he's not your team's savior. To quote Jason Kidd, "I'm not the savior here. I'm not playing. I'm watching, just like you guys. As a team, we've got to mature. We've got to grow up." Jason Kidd said this post-game after losing a 27-point lead that the Mavericks had with 7:08 remaining in the second quarter. Jason Kidd, my brother, you are coaching the team. What you're doing is not remotely close to what we're doing. I can't decide to start Josh Green from my couch. I also can't magically undo your beef with Christian Wood, who you guys probably need to be good down the stretch, seeing as for whatever reason, this team refuses to add quality big men. Don't worry, Mavs fans. This is just my attempt at a reverse jinx. I really hope that a big is on the way. But even if one isn't, at least Maxey is back, right, Mavs fans? While it's funny that teams have been 0-138 while trailing by 27 points this year, and according to ESPN Stats and Info, the Lakers haven't had a comeback like this since December 6th, 2002, when they came back from 30 points against none other than the Mavericks themselves. I'm not shocked that a comeback like this happened in today's game, but at the same time, I'd be so mad as a Mavs fan if I was the only one that lost out of those 139 teams that were trailing by 27. Shout out to KT_WZA on Twitter for pointing this out, but in 2018, Kidd had a very similar press conference with the Milwaukee Bucks, calling the team kids and saying that there's no coaching, there's nothing that you can do but go through it and learn, and we keep telling them what's coming as a coach, and we can tell them what to do, but the final is up to them to make that decision. Kidd would go on to get fired after this, and the Bucks, who hadn't eclipsed 45 wins in about 4 years with Kidd, would go on to win 60 games the year after, and eventually a championship. I'm sure you guys see where I'm going with this. I'm being pretty hard on Kidd right now, right? So I'm going to give him some props. I applaud him for applying pressure to a Luka Doncic who can get disengaged. Luka himself has admitted that he has a complaining problem and that he hasn't been in the best shape, and at times he can let this get the best of him. Yeah guys, I see Kidd trying to keep him honest, and I think that's really just rare in today's game. Again guys, I think it would be wild to count out this Mavericks team that has Luka Doncic and now Kyrie Irving. Mavericks fans, I really want you guys to do well, and not just because I made multiple videos voicing a level of faith in the team. You have to trust me here. Jason Kidd, please help. I want the pairing of Kyrie and Luka Doncic to be very successful. I'm really hoping that they figure out these late game issues soon.
That uncharacteristic turnover again. Vanderbilt with
This win for the Los Angeles Lakers would be massive. This game, the Lakers wouldn't have D'Angelo Russell, and after this, I thought that they wouldn't have LeBron either.
Oh, there's the plant. Oh, see that ankle just sort of lean in a little bit. But watch him when he lands. He did not want to come down on that right foot.
If the visual wasn't enough, look at what LeBron James says here. He says that I heard a pop. LeBron would surprisingly go on to finish this game. He'd limp out of the arena, and when he'd be asked about his ankle, he'd say that it's been better. Guys, we have to talk about this and what it means for LeBron James and the Lakers, but first, At the end of the day, who doesn't want to wake up healthy with good digestion, good hair, good energy, and feel ready to go? I mean, come on, that sounds amazing, right? While we all know how important it is to support our immune system and our personal well-being in general, we also know how time-consuming doing so can be. Well, this is where AG1 by Athletic Greens comes in, as it supports all of the good things that I mentioned while barely using up any of your very valuable time. AG1 might actually be one of the healthiest things that you can do in less than a minute. Guys, one scoop of AG1 by Athletic Greens is not only giving you all of your daily nutrient requirements, but it's also giving you a peace of mind. So instead of worrying about this long list of supplements to support the lifestyle that you want, you could just drink AG1, which is effortless, made from the highest quality ingredients, and best of all, tastes great while enabling you to feel even better. Since I've started drinking AG1, I've just fallen in love with the taste, and I think that you guys will too. AG1 is fantastic for anybody who is trying to improve their health. And if you order now, you can get a 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D3K2 and 5 travel packs free with your first purchase. All you have to do is click the link down in the description below. I want to give a huge shout out to Athletic Greens for supporting today's content. After the game, Bron would post this picture of his ankle with the caption "effing sucks" to his IG story. As we all know, that's not ideal. February 27th, Shams would tweet out, "Sources indicate that there's a fear that Lakers star LeBron James is likely to miss an extended period of time with his right foot injury." James suffered the injury in Sunday's win over Dallas. He played through it, and belief is he will be sidelined an indefinite amount. Shams continued saying that James miraculously played through the injury that is now expected to require multiple opinions, and that the Lakers are bracing for his absence to be multiple weeks. February 28th, Woj would give us another update, saying that LeBron James' right foot is expected to be reassessed in 2 weeks to see how much progress he's made, but timeline on return expected to extend beyond that checkpoint. Where Lakers reside in standings by then could impact how soon it makes sense for him to return. Knowing how much Bron wants to win, if things are going well for the Lakers, like Woj said, I wouldn't be shocked to see him attempt an early return or at least one that is slightly shorter than we expected. Bron wants to be on that floor bad. Remember guys, that just February 19th, he said that I'm going to figure out ways to make sure that I'm available and on the floor for every single one of those 23 games. Now check this out, when he said this, there were already reports that he was dealing with an unbearable injury and had multiple ankle/foot problems. To quote this Chris Haynes and Mark Stein podcast that I definitely recommend you guys to check out, the record-breaking game, I was told LeBron was struggling with that foot injury he has. It's something that's been nagging him for a few weeks already, but it gets to the point where it gets unbearable, and he plays through it. And people that talked to me said he has really been struggling with that foot. The way it was explained to me is that sometimes it flares up, different sides of his foot depending on the cut, the way he plants certain times. But the way it's explained to me is that it's something that might linger all season long. It reached a dire point, but what's interesting is that he sat out this game, they said, because of an ankle injury, not the foot. So that's something to monitor as the season goes on as well. Like, I think that's something he's probably going to deal with throughout the course of the season. I was told it reached a pretty unbearable point against the Oklahoma City Thunder, end quote. No matter how you slice this, this is a nasty blow to the Los Angeles Lakers. Even if Bron somehow miraculously just missed a few games, as I said earlier, no team in the West can afford to be dropping games right now. Now, the good news is that the Lakers have been looking a lot better since the trade deadline. Shout out to Pelinka, and have also grabbed victory when Bron didn't look his best against the Warriors, February 23rd. This game, Bron would go 5 of 20 from the field for 13 points, 9 rebounds, and 8 assists. AD would go 3 of 5 from the field for 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 1 assist. Now, before anybody says anything, yes, I know who wasn't playing, but that still doesn't change the fact that this team is finally starting to look like a team. If you're going to be a good team in the NBA, you have to be able to win games when your stars are having off nights, and if you want LeBron James to be healthy for the foreseeable future, with Bron turning 39 this year, it probably wouldn't be a bad time to lighten his load. I know nobody needs to hear this, but Bron is currently third all time in minutes played, and as much as it sucks to admit, the injuries have been starting to add up over the past handful of years. But yeah, I'm going to give Pelinka another shout out because I love these additions for the Los Angeles Lakers. I seriously think there's a world where Vanderbilt is worth 2 firsts by himself. I don't know how contenders weren't all over this guy. 15 points, 17 rebounds, and 4 steals against the Mavericks. Are you kidding me? According to NBA on ESPN, he also held Luka to 2 of 7 from the field as a primary defender. Guys, having size and length to go along with ability on the defensive end is nice. The difference the NBA trade deadline makes. I'm already looking forward to seeing a healthy D'Lo and this Lakers team do what they're capable of, especially if AD plays like he did against the Mavericks, dominating on both sides of the ball. Lakers fans, let me know your expectations for the rest of the season. What would be a success to you? Darvin Ham said the 6th seed would for him. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.